And here's how I can sell the program to our basketball players. Because then they see this, and then we can do everything that the coaches want, the players want. They buy into what we're doing by, you know what, we just built these bars and there's a med ball caught between them. And now I can make it specific to hoops. And this is he's on the 10-foot bar. We have 10-foot, 9-foot, and 8.5 foot all the way across our weight room. He's doing a switch grip pull-up. But it's not just the pull-up that we're doing. It's a basketball rotational pull-up with a plyometric with it. So we can superset. That was probably showing me. It's our blooper reel. So they have fun with this. The ideas that they actually give me on these things, you should see the track athletes on it. They span our whole weight room. Again, this is, we're looking for, you know, you go after the ball with 2 hands, so we're reinforcing going after the ball with 2 hands. We got a plyometric, and we're doing a pull-up. And again, we have different heights. So I can call out, you know, the exercise or whatever the guys are doing. There's a 360 pull-up. Then we can make it interesting, throw a ball up there. I don't know if you can get any more specific to, and there's persistence to going after a ball with 2 hands. You know, this is how I sell it. The coaches love it, the guys love it. To begin, we use the Dynamax ball. It could squash a little bit, so they could grab onto it, but then the rubber first, what's that ball called?
First place.
Yeah, first place is on the right. That's a little bit harder. That's Marcus Morris. But, you know, rarely do you ever go straight up in basketball to get a rebound. So we'll call these backwards traversing plyo pull-ups. So get some distance going back. So not only do we go back, but we'll get in, and I'll show you some rotational ones that we do. And you talk about persistence. I think he grabs this with 2 fingers here, and he still gets it. And I know, you know, some of you guys work with basketball. They're not the most motivated people in the weight room. And then to the hardest one, backwards traversing with a med ball. And he's having fun doing it. Just so many different variations. These guys teach me so much, and I take what they do, and you know, we can add to it or whatnot. But again, the ideas are flowing. I take from them, they take from me. And not only are the men doing it, but the women do it too. That's pretty impressive. Jeff Withy, here's our rotational pull-up. So depending on what the goal is for the day, if we do have a pull-up, so we're working on rotational agility too. So he has to go, rotate, find a ball.
I'm going to talk about a few different ways to do that outside of just movement. So there's sensory. We have visual, auditory, kinesthetic, tactile, olfactory if you want to throw that in there. This is primarily going to be about vision. People are starting to dabble in it. I think Nike is doing some pretty cool stuff with regards to vision, training, and assessment. Assessment being in what I think is the cooler part of the vision stuff we're doing. But again, what are we testing to improve? So with vision, elite athletes, they're just better. They see the game differently. They know that. It's in the research. Why? Right? Like, why can Steve Nash just do stuff other point guards cannot? He's got some different abilities. I'd like to know what they are. I'd like to test my athletes. I'm not saying compare them to Steve, but if I can do something about that, I want to do something about that. We know vision varies sport to sport. There's different visual demands placed on different sports. Right? Baseball is different than basketball. Anything within the confines of that sport, you're going to have different visual demands. Right? I want my point guard to maybe have be able to have a little bit more perception spans, pick up information, utilize it a little bit faster maybe than my bigs, although I want them all operating at a pretty high level. We know it peaks in the late teens and early 20s, and then just declines after that. So how can we delay that decline? Let's find out where you are first, and then train you accordingly. And we know, as Bill talked about yesterday, the brain is plastic. So we know we can change it. We know it's modifiable. But again, if we're not testing, we're just guessing. We're just throwing stuff at the wall. So Kobe Bryant gets $308,000 a game. That's not a bad gig. He missed 6 games right before the playoffs with a calf injury. Again, no idea what caused it. Don't know if it could have been identified before, but I know the Los Angeles Lakers paid $1.8 million and got 0 return on their investment for those 6 games. I know that. So what do we have to do to keep those 2 guys on the court? Right? I'm making a little bit of a leap here, but I said it before. If Kobe Bryant, and I don't know what his stat is, I can't see my notes, thanks. But if he shoots 78%, let's say from the line, with a limitation like you saw with that player, you can't really see, and I can accurately assess that and make that change and bump that up because he can just see a little bit better, that's huge. And I bumped that 78 to 84. Again, I'm just throwing numbers out here. We're trying to do some research now to see what that transference is, but that's huge. The average win in the NBA is 6 points. It's 3 baskets, 6.2 points. So if I can do everything in my power to make sure he can give me every bit of talent he has,